Good morning and welcome to Amby Marie Knits. My name is Amber. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Amby Marie Knits. This is episode 31. Today is Friday, December 1st, and it is approximately, shift the camera, 4 a.m. Central Time. A little bit earlier than I usually do this, but I have time, so I'm just going to do this now. As you can tell, scenery has changed. I rearranged my living room because I'm trying to make like a more sewing space as well as stuff for my advents. So instead of sitting on the couch, we are now sitting on the floor, but look at my new background. This is the yarn I purchased. I have more yarn, but it's stuff I've dyed. So a little quick chore. This is a basket I crocheted. It's full of like my big scraps. Like when you still have like 50 grams left after a sock, 40 grams, whatnot. Fingering weight. This is another basket I made that's just full of like stuff. That is all a girl in her wool. Fingering weight. This one is more like the stuff I bought, and it's got random stuff. There's like worsted in there, alpaca, stuff like that. This is my little bit of bear yarn. This is my DK scraps and minis. This is Cascade Heritage and what I'm using to make my kid sweater, which I'll show in a bit. This unicorn is full of minis. Then behind me is DK. This is, pointing, there we go. That is just sets, like stuff that goes together. Like when I make it, I want to keep it together. And you can't see the bottom row. It's probably okay. The bottom row is kind of messy, so it's fine. But yeah, that's going to be my new viewpoint. I figure my episodes are pretty fast. I can sit on the floor. It'll be okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. I've got some knitting and crochet today. A couple finished objects. And then I don't have any new cast-ons to show you, but we're going to talk about Advent stuff, of course. No spoilers. I'm not going to show anything on here this week just because it's December 1st. But I am doing Vlogmas, so by the time this comes out, day 0 will have been there. I'm planning on doing them a day behind, so I'm going to record, and then when you get up in the morning, you'll be able to have the day before's episode. So, let's jump in. First up, finished objects. Blankets. I'm done with the crocheted blankets. So, the last one, decided to do an axolotl, and oh my goodness gracious. I haven't washed it yet. So I think when I wash it, he won't be quite so curly. Look at him. Look at him. Sorry, but this turned out so cute. Whole blanket. Oh, this one's hard to show on the floor. But just squares, same as the other ones. Yarn is Hobby Lobby because their color choices are what I needed. No more Hobby Lobby now because I don't need to make blankets. But it is the lavender and the white, and then I think the purple, the dark purple is, that might be Walmart or Big Twist. I'm not actually sure what that one is. I joined them by just slip stitch. Oh, I did this with all the blankets. I slip stitched them together. I just kind of like the detail it makes when you slip stitch it. I don't mind sewing them together, but this is faster. So, blankets are done. That means next week children can watch my episodes again. That's cool. Just need to wash it, and then packaging. I originally was going to do like just big gift bags for them, but my job is having free wrapping where you drop off your presents and they wrap them. Would that be mean if I brought these in and said, hey, wrap these? I don't know. I'm going to think about it. We'll see what happens there. Alright, that's the first finished object. Next one is also a gift. So, forgot to preface this with children don't watch, but I'll let mom know not to watch. My youngest nephew's birthday is today. He is 7, and I finished his gift yesterday. He requested leg warmers. So, I've made the boys essentially arm warmers, but I don't know if they even use them. They wanted the idea of them. But they go to Urban Air a lot. It's a trampoline park. And they wanted something to protect their elbows when they're on the trampolines so they can pull them up. He also said he wanted leg warmers. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I made them. Oops. Kicked the camera. it'll take some getting used to being on the floor, so I apologize for that. Pretty basic. This is Brava Sport Weight in the color orange from Knit Picks. I cast on 40 stitches with a size 3, so I pretty much treated it like DK because it may be sport, but it's thicker. I cast on 40. I did 15 rows 2x2 rib. I did 60 rows of this and then another cuff. Hopefully they fit them. I don't know. I'm going to get them all wrapped up so I can drop that off later today. Party's not till Wednesday, but I like to give out birthday hugs if I can. So that's everything finished. Oh, it was in my Gingersnapfibers bag. I love the snaps. Like, I like that honestly better than a drawstring, better than a zipper. This is my only snap bag I have. I need to get more of them, but they're definitely worth it. Okay, that's everything finished. Now we're going to jump into whips. I've got 2 that I'm going to show. My log cabin blanket is coming along nicely. Uh-oh, I dropped a stitch, so I don't know how nicely. Okay. So, this is also out of Knit Picks Brava Sport. I have so much, I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm just trying to use it up. So, I am holding 3 strands on size 11 needles. This pattern, one moment. Okay. So, this pattern is the Log Cabin Spectrum Blanket by Pearl Soho. And I started at the pink, then I did the mint, then the dark mint, then the orange, then I think the green, purple, Fairy Tale's the name of this color. I don't know what you want to call it. And now I'm on the burgundy. I am probably going to make this bigger than the pattern says because mine's smaller and I have more yarn. So I may, once I finish this burgundy, start over with the colors and then go back to the pink and then just keep going. Because for one thing, I want it bigger. It is so squishy though. Like, if you're trying to use up worsted inside, hold it double, triple, get some big needles. This is, like, you can use this as a padding to sit on. It is that nice. So, I don't know how big it's going to end up being, but we're going to see until I run out of yarn. Is pretty much the goal. So, we'll find out. Okay, that's that whip. The next whip, I haven't worked on that much. I honestly don't know where I was at last time. It's in actually kind of an acquisition. So, I have one local knitting friend. Her name's Tamara, Caffeinated Craft Mama. And we occasionally meet up, just go to Panera after work, for me anyways, and hang out for a little bit just because it's nice to knit in person with somebody, even for a little bit. But she got last year this Accord of Thorn and Roses holiday set, and she ended up getting 2 of the bags and the marker, but I don't have that with me at work right now. But I got this. So, A Court of Thorn and Roses, the series by Sarah J. Maas. Whatever. We shouldn't be talking about this yet. I'm sorry, but we're going to do it anyways. It's a book series. I read the first one. Everybody's like, oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. The first book was, eh. She convinced me, Tamara, to read the second book. And the series is really good. And if you like fantasy like that, you should probably try it. But okay, back to knitting. Got distracted. Okay, bag. Really cool. I just love how it looks with the yarn and everything. So, I have in here technically, I'm vaguely using numbers from the Pub Crawler sweater put it on there because I forgot. But I made it up myself. So I'm this far on the back, the front. Now that the blanket's done, the crocheted blanket, this is probably going to become more of a priority. I think I have like 3 more repeats and then I can start binding off and doing the things that make a sweater look like a sweater when you're doing it flat. And then I've got the back part done already, and then I will make the sleeves and call it good. Yarn is Cascade 220 Superwash Merino in this red color that I got at a local yarn store, One City Market, when they had a really big sale. Speaking of local yarn stores, Mad Knitter Yarn. They used to be in Nevada. They were 30 minutes away in the wrong direction, and they came to town. She now has her own space. She's no longer sharing it with her husband in their RV park. So it's beautiful. It is such a beautiful space. Next time I'll take a video of it that's better than the one I attempted and did not work. I actually was there yesterday, and me and Tamara and her just chilled. We talked books, we knitted. I finished weaving in the ends of the blanket. I finished these things. Like, it was cool. So if you have a local yarn store, check them out. If you don't, well, that's what the internet's for. Okay. FOs are done, whips are done, Advent stuff. So, Advent-wise, I'm not going to show anything this week. Next week I will. This week I am not. Mainly because I just opened them and I don't have anything to show. But the things that I'm actually working on. So the Advents, I have actually. Talked about that. I had the Pretty Twisted Yarns, Woolly Mama yarns. I have a swap from the 11 Stitches membership, and I have the Freckled Whimsy socks. And I'm getting a 12-day next week that I don't start till later on in the month. Things I'm actually making. I made the decision this week that I don't have to make something with all of my Advents. My Pretty Twisted Yarns Advent, so excited for. Thought for most of the year, gonna make the anthology throw. I don't want to make it now. I don't know what I want to make. So you know what? I'm gonna open it and look at it and call it good. But I am going to make, with the swap ones, 10 gram minis, the Advent Mystery Shawl Cal 2023 by Robin Strouts. I'm going to make that. I don't know. It just sounds fun, especially with me not knowing anything about what these minis are going to look like. I think that's going to be fun. And then, of course, the Freckled Whimsy socks, Stripe a Day. I will be working on those. Those are actually going to be interesting because they're on 9-inch circulars, which I don't usually use. But there's something about, with it being the Advent, it works for me. At least it did last year. We're going to find out on this year. That's all the knitting stuff. We're good there. Books. I meant to talk about this last week and forgot. And I know I already talked a little bit on them, but more. So, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame. If y'all read that, if you have, comment below. Tell me what you thought. No spoilers if you haven't read it yet. It's good. Fourth Wing was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Iron Flame, I didn't like it as much, which is interesting because with the A Court of Thorn and Roses series, it was the first book I didn't care for, and then after that, it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's definitely still going to read the next books for the Fourth Wing series. From what I was told, the third book does not come out till December of 2024. So, if you can't handle cliffhangers and suspense, maybe don't start this series until it's all done. But that's all I've got today. If you're doing any holiday, Advent-y, whatever type stuff, comment below. Let me know. I want to know what everybody else is working on. Maybe it'll help me find the perfect idea of what to make with my other Advents. And that's it for this week. Hope the new setting is okay. Also, let me know what you think about that. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and have a great weekend.